Tom, I want to know what liberty groups are doing about November. Who are they going to be backing? Republican statewide office holders? Somebody else or nobody?
Yeah, I think the general feeling is that they're going to sit it out. I think there's a lot of people who have just said, we'll vote for Josh Mandel. Some people will pick, Dave Yost has got a pretty good following. I think in the governor's race, people are just going to sit it out. They're going to be working. I think our people are going to be focused on U.S. Senate races across the country and trying to help by making phone calls and trying to help win the U.S. Senate.
What does John Kasich need to do to get back in the good graces of Tea Party folks?
I would start with try talking to us. That'd be a good start. Same thing with Matt Borges. He keeps saying his hand is always out to the Tea Party, except his hand is always empty. Okay, and so we've not been the ones who've been obstructing. We've communicated clearly. I can show you the letters that I've sent to the governor saying, listen, this is what our people need to see to help us go forward and make sure that our state gets to be stronger and our country gets to be stronger. When can we talk about this? And the answer has been never. I think you were at the rally we had in Portage County at Maplewood Career Center when John Kasich was running for election 3 days before his election, and he was losing, and we had a huge rally and all the Cleveland media, and I promised that we would win Portage County, and we did for the first time since 1958, and he won by 77,000 votes, and he shook my hand, and we talked that day, and I've never spoken to him since.
Can you give me a status report on the Tea Party movement? You're obviously heading one of the biggest ones, or the biggest one in the state, right?
Yeah.
Given the results of the last election, how much influence do you feel like your voters have at this point?
Yeah, I just put out a video that came out this week that talked about, I spoke at the Portage County Tea Party monthly meeting, and I said, I think I feel better about where we are today than I have ever felt in the history of our movement. We found our way, Mark. We just were spending all this time trying to understand the process, and believe me, no one was helping us understand the process, and so, it was a lot of, trial and error and missed opportunities, but now we think we understand it, okay? And some of it's just basic blocking and tackling. I was talking to Adam Brandon from Freedom Works, and I said, this business of let's take some ordinary guy and run him for Senate, or for Congress, just doesn't work. It's like throwing the equivalent of throwing the long bomb in the NFL. It's really exciting, but it rarely works. And so what you saw most recently is a return to that blocking and tackling. Let's run for some races where we're capable of mustering the resources you need to run. Let's run for some county commissioners. Let's run for some state central committee, county central committee. Took a shot at some House races and won some. Took a shot at some Senate races, didn't win them. Much bigger than a House district. We found that we were short on resources in those Senate districts. So it was a year of real positive growth for us, and I have happy warriors. Our people are happier than I've ever seen them.
People are going to say, if you don't back the Republican candidates, you risk getting Democratic candidates in office who definitely aren't supporting the kind of causes that you guys are supporting.
Right.
Why not support who's in there as opposed to nobody?
Well, this is a fundamental issue, okay? What we have gone through the last 5 years is this concept of the lesser of two evils. That has been foisted upon us every time we turn around. It's the lesser of two evils. What we've come to learn is there's not two evils. There's evil and there's good. And we've decided to stand for good, okay? And if you're evil or if you're doing things that we think hurt our country, do not advance our cause, then we can't support you. And it's just that simple. And so in the case of Governor Kasich, who was just honored at a dinner in Cleveland because the Greater Cleveland Association or whatever, the Cleveland Foundation, talked about how John Kasich has done everything they wanted him to do, including Medicaid expansion, including passing these $15 million levy and school levy in Cleveland, including the Turnpike deal, which is a $4 billion gift from the taxpayers to the Northeast Ohio construction unions. Those are not things that made our state stronger and led in the direction we wanted to go. That's not what we expected from the Republican governor. And so we've decided that if you're not on our team, then we're not on your team. And so we're willing to talk about things just like this today. Photo voter ID, 70% of the people want it. What's the problem, Governor? Common Core. Our polling in the primary showed that 75% of the people are against Common Core. We have Common Core because Governor John Kasich will not even discuss the issue. And he doesn't have a clue what Common Core is. He's ignorant about Common Core. Same thing with workplace freedom. Workplace freedom polls off the charts. He won't touch it because of his own personal political ambitions. That's not leadership, that's selfishness.